Alright, here, welcome back everybody. And now we're ready to go ahead and begin the face machine painting for our weights, and we're going to go ahead here and adjust our rig setup and how it's been placed on our rig. Okay, so first thing that we need to go ahead and do is, let me go ahead and bring my outliner over here. We're not going to be using these TFMIs. Okay, so we can just select the group, go ahead and delete it. And we're going to go ahead here and delete the layer. We're going to take what would be our eye controls, and I'm just going to go ahead and bring back my channel control here. We're going to come up to Window, General Editor, Channel Control. Let me go ahead and bring this over here, and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to look for the visibility. Okay, I'll move it back over and you can see where it comes in here in the channel box. I'm going to select the attribute, go ahead and break the connections, and simply turn them off. You can always just hit Control H to go ahead and do that. Okay. Let's take our take and place these where we want them. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull my outliner off here, and you can see where our face machine widget controls aren't actually where we would want them. Primarily. So what I want to go ahead and do is just simply replace them properly. And to do that, I'm not talking about re-rigging the face machine. We can simply come up here to face machine and reposition, reposition the face controls. Okay, so you can see where if I just hit 5, you get these little green indicators, and so you can just move these basically where you want them. And this will readjust those face controls as needed. Okay, so we're just going to come in here and simply place these where we want them. Maybe just do a little bit of adjustment here, and you can see where some of these are actually pretty way off the actual mesh, and that's not necessarily what an animator is going to want. He's going to want them to be at least as close to the mesh as you can get them. Okay, so we'll go ahead here and do the other side. And it should be noted that this actually doesn't get mirrored over. You're going to have to do these all individually, and that's okay. Just make sure you take a little bit of time to go ahead and get these right. And you can also scale these down as needed, and that'll update with the actual NURBS controllers. So we'll just go ahead and get these placed here. Okay, we'll also go ahead and pull that in. Go ahead here and pull this up, place it properly. We're definitely going to have to adjust the mouth controls here. Okay. And I need to hit 4 on my keyboard so I actually see where all these are at. So I have to pull this one over, pull this one over. I can hit 5 so I can pull these out here. Pull the corner shape back over a little bit there. This one can get pulled out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead here and scale the mouth ones down a little bit. So what I want to do is I'm going to make sure that I select all of these ones that are at least going to control the mouth, and I'm going to set their scale X, Y, and Z here. Just try some sizes to make sure that how they look. Okay, so 0.1 there looks like it's going to be fine. And I'm just trying my best to, match them from one side to the other. Okay. Let's take and move our nose here up a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and pull the nasal controls out here too. Okay. Go ahead here and maybe scale the brow controls down a little bit. And I think we can probably go 0.2. Let's see how that looks. I think that's fine. So go ahead and just try and place these a little bit better here. Since we've scaled them down, I just want to make sure that they're still going to line up on the mesh. Jump over and do the left side here. And I'm just selecting, you know, rotating, and just trying to fit them, you know, where I would be happy with them. You guys can go ahead and place them basically wherever you want. That's fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit 5. And let's go ahead and bring back our regular controls here. Okay, so there you can see where the update happens, because now these are actually a little bit smaller. Same with the mouth controls here. Okay, but our pivots here are still way off. So what I want to do is just simply shift select all the master controls. And we'll go ahead and select the mouth. Indicators here. And I'm just selecting all the primary controls here. And I'm making sure that I don't actually select the lid controls. Okay. So with that, I'll go ahead here and hit center pivot. And so now they're all going to get centered. Okay, and we'll just simply have to paint weights here. And one other note here I want to go ahead and show you guys. Let me go ahead and just turn this off just so it doesn't actually get in my way here. Okay, go ahead and just simply turn that off. We want to make sure that we rename all these controls, because we don't want any naming conventions, especially when we start building the actual module rig. So what we can do here is, let me go ahead and just open up my script editor here. And I'll just have to scale this down a little bit. Okay, and you can see that I have the entire name system for what is all these facial machine rig indicators. Okay, and to get that, what I did is just simply, let me go ahead and clear the top here. Just select one, and you're going to see here where it selects the L brow FC. Okay, so this indicates the face machine, and we can just simply add a flag here for that. So you can just double click it and change the name to whatever you want. But what I would suggest here is that you at least put those flags before the left brow 1FC. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done that, but what I want to go ahead and do now is just make sure that I rename them here, and then I'll just go ahead and run this script. So what I can do here is just say that this is going to be clown fish. Okay, and I'm just going to copy this clownfish indication here, and I'm just going to replace all these test ones with that clownfish. And this will just take a second or two to go ahead here and run through for me to rename all these. And it doesn't really take, you know, too much work to go ahead and do this. I'm just doing this just to make sure that we don't have any naming conventions here later on down the road, because we're going to have multiple different fish inside one rig, and you really don't want to have naming conventions, because if you haven't renamed them, at least with the, we'll say, flag of what the fish is, you're probably going to end up running into naming convention problems. And it's just going to be much more of a headache to go ahead and fix, rather than, it's just easier to do it right the first time. Okay, so let me go ahead and make that a little bit larger so you guys can actually read what that is. Okay, so the jaw FC here, if I can go ahead and just move that here, is actually going to be this. And you can see here where it still is just jaw FC, but whenever I go ahead and run this script, it's going to rename the jaw FC to the clownfish jaw FC. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and click in here, since I've gone ahead and put that name change in here. I'm going to hit Control A. I'm going to go ahead and run that script. And I'm just going to go ahead and select one of these. So there you can see where the jaw FC gets changed to that clownfish jaw FC. But like I said, to go ahead and get all these, all you would just simply do is select it and just rename it to whatever you want, and then you would get that back in the output window there, or the output of the script editor. And I'll make sure that I include the actual script for all those naming conventions there in the script folder. So now that we have everything pretty much renamed, we're ready to go ahead here and start penning weights here for our face machine. We'll come back and go ahead and do that in the next lesson, simply so we can go ahead and focus specifically on that. So come on back, everybody, and we will go ahead and paint the weights for our face machine.